Now, the lack of an agreement on certain agricultural goods has become a thorn in U.S. trade deals with India and China. And if one were to consider Donald Trump's rhetoric of tariffs as a threat to secure deals, India and China have held their own. At the center of the standoff between the Asian giants and the U.S. are corn and soybeans. Differences over agri-trade is at the heart of the trade dispute, with the U.S. continually pressing for India to open its markets, particularly after being shut out by China, which has begun to buy corn and soybeans from Brazil. That has thrown the U.S. agricultural sector into a crisis. The debate also rages on about U.S. demands for countries buying staple American crops. Farmers' sustainability is at the heart of trade negotiations between the United States and the Asian giants.
This whole scheme of taking a sledgehammer, namely tariffs, to solve any problem, whether it be trade deficits or whether it be the war in Ukraine and Russia, is without foundation. And we hope that we can get back to a semblance of a multilateral trade approach, which has served India and the United States so well. What is obscured here is that basically this approach destroys the World Trade Organization and the multilateral system which has been in effect since World War II.
Now, during the standoff between the United States and China earlier this year, when both countries engaged in a battle of imposing higher trade tariffs on each other, China pulled the plug on soybean purchases from America. That has hurt American farmers, who have lost out on billions of dollars from China's snub of U.S. soybeans. Some analysts have called China's move a crisis for American farmers. Soybean is said to be among the top items for discussion during Friday's call between Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Bulk purchases of American goods are at a critical part of the Chinese deliverables for a trade deal with the United States. While India was the first out of the door to offer Trump some concessions for a trade deal when he took office, the discussions fell through, the agricultural goods at the center of the standoff. As a result, Trump announced 25% reciprocal tariffs on Indian imports and an additional 25% penalty on buying Russian oil. But India stood its ground. While Trump has softened his stance in recent days, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick warned that India will lose access to American markets unless it buys U.S. corn. However, India has repeatedly pointed to country's priority of protecting its farmers. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.